computer. Live, right here, Medical Intuitive Insights. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren. I'm here to answer questions. So we do have the chats open, and I am seeing some people coming on. In the meantime, I just want to let you know, I am a professional epidemiologist. I'm certified through Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Medicine. I also am a medical intuitive, and I use medical intuition and remote viewing for those sessions. Right now, though, we have a special guest. So if you'd like to see this show, you missed the show, and you want to tell people about it, not a problem. Just you can find us on YouTube and several other places. So, but today we have a special guest, and that's Svetlana Pritzker, and she is here. I call her Lana. It's just me, it's up to her. But hello, Lana. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me, Gloria. It's such a pleasure to always have a conversation with you and your viewers. You're a very intelligent person. You're a deep person, and having a conversation with the deep friend, is a pleasure. So I'm here to share the pleasure and share our knowledge. And one fact you don't know about me, I was trained as medical intuitive. I am not as good as you are in seeing auras or whatever's going on in the body. I'm more of a sensitivity person, so I sense what's going on in the body. I don't see it. But I was trained with Carol in Sutherfield. Very interesting. And I was always thinking of you very highly because it's a special gift when you can see things that other people cannot see far in advance, so you can prevent some bad things from happening. So I really respect you and your show, and thank you for invitation.
Yes, and likewise, you've been a blessing since the day I met you. I think it was like around 2002. It's been quite some time, but
Yeah.
some of the things I've seen you do have been just miraculous. It's amazing on what you can see in people and their energy. Oh my goodness. I mean, that just knocks me off my block, just um, you are definitely a unique individual that provides your talents to the public, and it's not something that I've ever seen accomplished like you do. And you've been spot on every time. Anytime I've had a patient and then you've talked to them about their energy or something else that you do, and it just it was amazing just to hear. First, I would do a medical intuitive reading, and then I'd hand it over to you, and you would do your thing. It's like, oh my gosh, and she doesn't even know this person, but
Yeah.
yet you would see all this stuff and you would know all these things about them. And it's kind of to me like you give them that ancient wisdom in this profound universal purpose of what they're here for, where they're going, what's good for them, what isn't good for them. And even a schedule. I noticed you did a schedule on me for which months, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe you actually knew I was having a hard time with something. I never even talked to you for like years. And then I couldn't believe you knew I was having a hard time moving forward with this one business and banging my head against the wall. Never told you. And you're like, this year is a month that you're going to have trouble moving forward. And I was like, where did she come from?
Yeah, where I come
Amazing.
from is an interesting place. You see this place around me, the universe, we all come from the same place, and we are the
Yes.
stars, and we shine very brightly, not necessarily on our pathway. Our path could be very dark, and every step could have an obstacle. But we are here for other people. We are all
That's true.
inconvenient with the universe, with God, with the forces of the universe. And at the same time, we are here to support each other. So even sometimes the healers have the hardest time, but they could see things that are easier to see in others because we are all in connection. And where I come from, we are one. You come from the same place.
Yes.
And the energy and information we all experience, we share from our own lenses and perspective. And I've been called a cross pollinator because I do go to courses and classes. First of all, my first education, my two educations are education. I am a master's degree in education back in Russia where I was 35 years ago, and then another degree of education here. But education is one of the most important things that everybody of us needs, because we need to educate other people about what we want and how we want it. Otherwise, we're always about conflict, right? You didn't do what I wanted you to do because I couldn't really explain what I wanted to do. So from earlier age, we learn how to read other people. We have a talent, but some of us use it professionally. Like you and me, we use it professionally. Some other people don't use it at all because they were told they know nothing. And why we hear that? Because many people don't want us to know the truth. Luckily, you're open because you understand that if I tell you something, your attention and focus will be on preventing bad things from happening.
Yeah.
But lots of people like to live like that. I'd rather not know.
Yes.
It's much easier.
Yes.
And God will take care of me. God will take care of you, but God has your hands and your mind and your eyes
Right.
and your feet.
I'm guided and I know this.
Something.
You're guided too, I can tell. Well,
So
I think
with my cross pollination, I just
right.
I'm on the cusp of everything. I know enough about everything that I can translate it through my body and through my cases with the people that I work with to go deeper into how it looks in the physical realm. But everything comes from non-physical. Where we are from is
Right.
non-physical, and that's what needs to be taken care of.
So as I see it, it's been a life's journey for you to get to this point. And I think that's where that ancient wisdom actually gets intertwined with what you tell your clients, and they really just can absorb that as though you're somebody, an elder in the community that just knows all this stuff. But although you are using your gifts and talents, and maybe earlier in life you just weren't ready for this point in your life, so you had to go through everything to get to this point. You had to learn this, you had to learn that, little of this, little of that. You mix it together a minute and then throw it in the oven, and you end up with a big, beautiful cake.
Yeah, you know how you go to the university and you learn everything, and then you come out
Right.
and you're at your first job and they tell you, forget what you learned. Now you're in a job,
Yes.
get into the real world. So early on, I was in a school life. My mom was not ever very strong person. My father was absent a lot because he was a geologist. I should have learned how to take care of me, or nobody would. I had a grandmother who I was left with. She didn't really care much about me. She cared about bigger things like reading Lenin and Karl Marx and stuff like that back in the.
Yes.
And so I've learned to start. I remember at age 8 or 9, I had a palmistry book. I was learning about palmistry. And what I understood about myself later, that every place I went was a confirmation of what I knew. This is what happens. We're attracted to things that we like because
Yeah.
we like them internally first. Inside us is an institute. We know exactly what's in and what needs to be out and how you can share it. And inside us is university. So who you are matters a lot, but we learn not to be ourselves. And that's where we get into situations that are out of normal. But who knows what's normal?
I get
You're
that.
not
I get
normal.
that.
I'm not
No,
normal.
I'm not
That's a
the
good thing.
usual person you run into on the street. And
For
nor are
sure.
you. Um, yeah, that's what makes us so special. We have a journey, we have a purpose here in life. And me, for what I'm doing right now, and I still think it's going to expand even further. And
Always.
then you as well. So what I see is, we wanted to bring in the topic today about chaos versus purpose in life. And, we see all these things happening all over, not just in the US, even in some other countries where people are rebelling, and some people are being paid to pretend like they're rebelling, and all this other crazy stuff. People getting hurt, with no sense in
Left and
mind.
right. Yes.
And I just feel that these are empty souls. They think they know what they're doing. Oh, but I'll get paid to this. Or, you know, I know this is the thing to do. And I think people need to understand the main thing that is happening here is it's like a mass hypnosis. And if you don't have a purpose centered within your core, what happens is it's human instincts to want to follow or be a part of a larger group that supposedly has this greater purpose. And you're led to believe it's a positive purpose, but it's not necessarily a positive purpose. It hurts so many people, property damage, human property damage, human people damage. And yet you're still led to believe that that's what it is, when actually you should be looking inside yourself to actually figure out what is my actual universal purpose, my godly purpose here on this planet. That's what you need to point yourself to. And that's what you need to do without having any outside people talking in your ears and influences like that. It's got to be between you and God. The messages, your research, find out what these groups are really about, not what they tell you they're about. Use your brain. God gave us a brain, happens once, shame on you, me, or whatever, happens again, it's our fault. Well, it's happening over and over. So we need to find our own purpose. We need to maybe even talk to a minister or pastor or a social worker even, but somebody who is not biased, and talk to God and ask God, please help direct me in my own way, into my path and journey. And go see people like LANA here. LANA can tell you your purpose in life.
I can calculate it. I will calculate
Yes,
it.
she calculates it, but then it's not just calculation, it's the wisdom, that ancient wisdom I mentioned. Then all of a sudden she'll know you need to be doing this or you need to be doing that. And I've seen her turn people's lives around and become positive people in this universe where you can see so many terrible things. You can be so positive and just follow that light and path, your own path, not somebody who says, this is what you should do. It's more of what you're meant to do. And people like LANA, especially LANA, I mean, she's the best I've ever seen. She can see it and calculate it. It's just amazing on how that works. Why don't you explain that to them, what you're actually doing?
Okay, so explaining what I'm doing is pretty hard because I'm not doing much. I am
Different
a
for
field.
everyone.
Yeah, I am a field of energy and information. So where my energy is not chaos, it's in order. The way I bring my life into order. First of all, I start my morning with walking. Every day I walk and I talk on my Facebook with my listeners.
She's
And
on
as
every day. Listen to her. Great
absolutely, go to
advice.
my Facebook, Svetlana Prisker, you'll see. Every day around between 6:30 and 7:30, I start my walk. And as I'm walking, I am communing with the energy. When you say talk to God or talk to minister, those are little different things. You can talk to anybody you want because people are the facets of God. And so everybody has their own lenses. They have their own advice. They have their own education. They have, by the way, different time of their birth, the different date of their birth, different names. All of those little things affecting how people relate to you. And when you talk to God directly, you have a full direct connect. And all you need to do is shut up for a minute. If you don't talk, if you don't say, God, give me this, give me this, give me this, and don't forget to give me a status, I know it's funny. If you stop doing that, right, and you just listen, what is it for me to know? What is it for me to hear today? And start listening. Today I was walking on my walk in the morning, and I see this car saying mystical mobile. And who sees mystical mobile in the middle of Floridian Path Walk? And then after I finished the walk and I came to my house, that was the guy who came to wash my husband's car. So my husband invited that mystical mobile car, but the chances like that, right?
The
But I
crossings
talked
of
about
paths, it's not just by
exactly.
chance.
But
Right.
and this is what I'm talking about: chaos and order. Because when you walk your walk every day, you walk your walk, you talk your talk, and you start noticing the meanings and the symbols that universe is giving to you when you're focused on receiving the message. If you never check your email, you don't know what's in there. It's the same thing. When you're never looking around If you're not listening to what is coming to you, then God is talking all the time. But if you're not listening, then the conversation is not necessarily happening. But the purpose of our life is not, it is mystical, of course, but there is no mysticism if you understand that your purpose is to live. Live in every single moment, partake in the goodness of what's going on around you. If you live every single moment, you will not do things that you were describing, run into riot or have a problem with somebody or kill somebody or be killed, because you will be your choices, you will be choosing what God gives you, and God gives you one gift, and that is the gift of life and the gift of breath. And you would want to unpack it, then you would not be smoking cigars, maybe, because that will burn your lungs. And then you would not be eating some, I don't know, sausage from the dead animal. I'm not a vegetarian. Whenever I want, I eat whatever I want. But most of my food is raw food and raw green food. Of course, sometimes I eat this is another thing because I'm a human being. But it was very interesting that you said human instincts. Instincts are not human. Human has intuition. When we act on instinct, we're scared and we are in a herd and we're hurt. And that when instinct kicks in and you run with the crowd, because we can be a prey or a predator. There is nothing in between.
Yeah.
Because we're animals first, human next. So if you're not a prey or a predator, you don't need your instinct. You could be medical intuitive, serving the world with your wisdom. But if you're constantly scared and constantly pushed and constantly influenced by the noise that has nothing to do with God or the universe, because universe is electrical, the words is translation of the impulse, electrical impulse that we receive, like a phone. We have a chance through our neocortex, the higher thinking capabilities, we can receive the signal. And instead of transmitting the same signal as if you'd be a phone, the phone does it. But we're not the phones. We are human beings, not even human. We're electrical beings. We're sparks of the universe. We're stars. So you receive the signal. Through your mind, you can change the signal. And that's where the healing is happening, because the signal now is yours and it's your choice. And between the stimulation and the reaction, which is very animalistic, what do you call it, limbic system reaction, right? Between the stimuli and reaction, the space that is being occupied by your humanness is what makes the difference between the chaos and order. Because chaos is things are coming at you and you are chaotically trying to defend yourself. And the order is when you have time to analyze, you stop.
Right.
And you look at it and you analyze it. And the action is goal oriented. If you don't want to be killed or kill, you don't run with the crowd, because the crowd is not a human crowd. It's a herd.
Right. I have a couple people have already put in some questions here. So I have Jim. Thank you, Jim, by the way. And Jim wants to know, he said, I I don't know the exact year I was born. Jim came from, it looks like he came from Pakistan or something. And he wanted to know, can you do a reading if we don't have the year?
Of
I
course,
mean,
of
you
course.
can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it,
What
Jim.
is the reading? Let's just talk about a second. What is the reading? Because people come with different questions, right?
Right,
If
right,
nobody asks anything, I don't read anything but my own books.
right,
I don't
right.
read people. I think you don't do it either, because
So
very
I'm better
indecisive.
to go with blank slate, and I don't want to know anything about the person. And then it's like the Lord just tells me everything and shows
Exactly.
me everything. It's just like, and they're like,
No.
how do you know this? Who did you talk to? No, no, it's not
Yeah, you
me.
talk to
It's
God directly. You don't need anything. All
yeah,
right. So how it works for me is when the people talk to me, I hear what they say. I hear the words. I feel the vibration. I sense the smell. I see the picture. There are many different things that I can read, because the
right.
reading is analysis. It's a simple analysis. Now, I have a number of different tools, diagnostic tools. So if Jim doesn't know he's here, that's fine. He might not know his
That
date.
is unusual. Usually it's the
Yeah,
month or something or the
yeah.
time they
Usually
don't
people
know.
don't know the day, or the day is
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
in a document is one day and they were born and that's the yeah. But the important thing is, what is your intention? What would you like to know? Because the year is one little thing that affects everything. For example, we all live in our personal years, and that personal year has nothing to do with the year you were born. It has to do
Oh,
with the day and month, actually. Because right now, collectively, we live in year 2025, which is the year 9, 2, 2, and 5, 4 and 5. So in year 9, the humanity undergoes a massive completion of the things that are no longer working for us. And humanity undergoes a big cleansing. Lots of people die, lots of people get sick because we are completing the 9-year cycle. And if you go back 9 years, and this is how we live in 9-year cycles. Everything has a 9-year cycle, even the business. First 3 years, it's a new business, it starts developing. The next 3 years, it's grounding itself because it's figured out their things. And next 3 years, you want to go bigger, you want to scale, and you want to make sure the business is working. And that's where the 9 years kicks you
wow.
out because it's a completion. Talk about business
That
because
makes perfect sense in my world.
yeah, I mostly work
It's
with
always the
business
year
people.
three.
Yeah, we work with I work with business people, and very often people understand themselves as a business, but again, business have people, and so understanding where you are in relationship to yourself, your business, your relationship is important, and all of it has 9-year cycle. In relationship to yourself, you can calculate this 9-year cycle, but it's not a common thing. Your 9-year cycle could be done last year and mine is coming. So if we are in the same family, for example, you will be paying attention to how to be healthy and how to make sure that things are not hanging out but completed on time if you're in the year 9. And if I'm in the year 1, I will start new things. Imagine the wife starting new things, buying new houses, new clothes, new furniture, and the husband wants to complete and get sick because he doesn't have resources to deal with his health. He's dealing with the new opportunities the wife is creating. Happens all the time. So
Right.
in order for you to understand the year you're living in, all you do is you take your birthday and birth months and the summary of those numbers plus the common year, which is year 9.
Oh,
So for Jim, for example, that's what's going on right now. And because we live in year 9, any number added to 9 creates the same number. Let's say your month is 1 and your day is 1 and your month is 2. That's 3, right? Plus 9, 12. And
hmm.
12 is 1 and 2, 3. So 3 and 9 will be 3.
Oh, okay. So I get that. After the nine, then you just add the two digits
Yeah,
for the year. See,
yes.
Jim, you got to listen to her because trust me, this is something I don't know. And she knows very well. You know, I have somebody that I think gather she sounds like she was a patient of yours. Her name was Alicia, and she
Mhm.
said she used to run around in Chicago causing problems, and she had seen you. And she says that she is grateful for your existence. You changed my life. I really appreciate your soul and good luck in helping others. So that was very nice of her,
That
Alicia.
is
And thank
amazing
you,
because
Alicia.
actually, Alicia, I want to say that it was unusual work because Alicia was a teenage, not teenager, I don't know,
Young
17,
adult.
17,
Yeah.
not young adult, 17-year-old, right? And her mother died, and she was adopted to the family of her father. And it was not a very easy time for her, and she was not very easy to open up, even though I knew her from very young age because I knew her mother. And what happened, we did a painting together. That was
Ah,
like so
oh my gosh, one
unusual.
of your paintings you do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, I wish we had him here.
yeah, but I have them on my
But
website,
yes, please check them out,
energyforactions.com,
guys.
so
She
you
is
can,
a magnificent artist, and you can
yeah.
tell they're soulful. They're
I'm a
very
mystical
mystical.
mystical
Yeah.
artist. I have the download
But
and I can
I
see.
can look at one and I can see so many of these different things all together in one. It's just phenomenal. But yeah,
Well, it's her
Alicia
soul.
is oh there you oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's like the sparkles around the eyes and the energy. It's all about the energy. My gosh, here we go again. It's
So I
beautiful.
call her avatar. Every painting, of course, is me, my understanding of the universe, and I've done about 40. I'm creating a deck of cards with them.
Yes.
But just wanted to complete. Alicia, I was so proud about working with her because she started with like dark lines and terrible things, and it was the further we went, and it was about a few months. The further we went, the more darkness that painting had, and then at some point, she just brought the face on. This is what I teach people to do: to bring your inner knowing of yourself on a canvas. And she brought the
Right.
face, and she created such an amazing outlook at herself, and she wrote things on that painting. And what I do with people is I give them a download, and I make a painting for them. But when they make a painting, it's like them helping themselves, being in their room
Hmm.
all the time, communicating with this painting, because
Yeah.
everything about this painting is you. So it was amazing work, and it was the first time I worked with such a young person one-on-one. In the group, it's a different story. It was really deep, and thank you for listening and being here
Yeah.
with.
And by the way, just so the audience know, Alicia did say in her message, and I, I, I signaled Lana to know that was okay. We could tell her story. So we don't just tell people stories if they don't want that. We always ask permission.
Right.
So
Okay.
wonderful work. And I think a lot of young adults, as well as any age, can be tied up with all of these false fronts and lies, basically, that they're hearing about things like even fake news now. Oh my gosh, it's all over. Somebody's saying this, and I have a friend. She went to visit her mother, and then she's going to get back in the country. That was all fake. Everything. It's really sad when you cannot trust so much around you, but you can always trust in the Lord and the guidance if you ask. You need to ask for that. Just, dear Lord, in the name of Jesus Christ, please guide me. Show me my path. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Do you want me to go here? Do you want me to go there? And it's funny, some things will be just thrown in front of you. Like when I went back to college, it was like thrown in front. I just got up one morning. Nope, I got to go register at CTU, and and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm going back to college." It's done. It's like, "Yep," because I asked, and they showed me. And everything I've done has led me to this point in my life. If I look at the many different things that I did in my life, you would not believe it. I don't even want to go into all the different businesses I've owned and companies and jobs and everything. I need every single one of those as a stepping stone to what I need to do today. So even though you feel lost and you can't see that stone path or whatever where those stepping stones are, ask God and he'll show you the next stone. It may not be like, oh, today you're going to save a whole community and feed them. It may not be a whole huge thing. It may be just another step. No, that he wants you to go to work here. And there's a reason. Maybe you're supposed to meet somebody who's going to help guide you or something. Everything that you do in your life leads to your journey in life from birth to death, if you allow it, if you want to be shown. You know, there's another thing here. I got another message this one's from Christine, and she said that she always wanted to know her life's path. She loves our topic today, and she says here, how will I actually know my life's path when I see it? So that's an interesting question. Did you really know your life's path when you saw it, or did you just?
Okay, so it is a very complex
Sorry.
question, but also a very easy question to answer. First of all, like I said, we're all here to show up in the material world, or we wouldn't be
Right.
in this material world. Secondly, once we show up, we need to become self-sufficient. And for many people, that is the purpose, to become self-sufficient, because some people are never born. They're continuously sitting in the nest of their parents. They're not doing anything for the world, for themselves, and they're not taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of anybody. or they're taking care of things that are not their things to take care of. Where we have examples when people get stuck, where people get cross paths with wrong partners, let's say, in business or in life, and they never are able to move on from that situation because they believe that it's once and forever. That would be great. It's a great idea, but sometimes things are not happening this way. So first and foremost, your path is the path of joy. It's not the path of sorrow. Yes, there are some things that are happening, but even those things that are hard for you are given for us to lose the illusion and open up the mind to inclusion. We see certain pictures. This is how it should be in my life. And if it's not like that, God, give me something else. But what you've given is a gift. It's a gift of life, which is the gift of disillusionment. But don't look at disillusionment as a problem or a punishment. That's what we do. God, why did you punish me? Nobody punishes us. The harder the task is, the bigger the soul. The bigger the soul, the harder the task. It's not a vicious circle. It is an ability of learning through life. And you can learn in the school of life, we call it crisis, or you can go to other schools. I actually went to many different schools. My last university that I just completed was Suicide Training Institute. And it's in 180 countries that science is known and practiced, and 5 countries have the institute. In America, not yet. Therefore, I traveled to Turkey. But this is the science in which you understand how the person acts, what's the psychology of the person, what is the energy of the person, what is the business that they're creating. Most importantly, what is their prof orientation, which means what am I here for? And that is a huge gift. This science, based on thousands and thousands of cases, Harvard University, for example, examined that and accepted that as a science. So it has a brand and all of that. So the important thing to understand that when you're young, after school, for example, you cannot be in your I don't know, spiritual career because you're too young. And God gives you, universe gives you the university of life.
More like a training of some sort, right?
Yeah, you're going through different professions because you are looking for yourself. But you can also calculate and see what is your institute, what's inside you, what's calling you. Because usually it's something that's easy, something that you can do all the time, something that you want to do all the time. But we dismiss it. Oh, it's too easy. Go learn something hard. I'm a musician. No, you're not going to get any money from it. Go become a mathematician. And actually, math and music are very similar for your brain, so it does work. But if you are doing before you are 33, if you're doing what your heart desires, you actually start building on the foundation of what's inside you. But at 33, the energy changes. You're no longer the same person. And then, like Jesus Christ came back, he was a carpenter's son, now he's a big teacher, right? 33 is the moment when your mission kicks in. And that's where I can actually talk to people about what your mission and what your path. Because at that point, not only the energy changes, you don't have enough energy to do anything. You're tired a lot. And, you cannot be free as you were before when you're a child or young adult. Your energy is limited because the universe is building the path for you. And it's a narrow path between knowing and the knower. You are looking into things. You're learning things up to 33. You've gotten things. But then you don't have the whole thing to learn about. You already have a good foundation. Now there's a narrow bridge toward that, what you meant to do in this life. And that's also could be calculated.
Christine just wrote, I'm 33.
Ah, okay, exactly. It's a bit of a confusion, actually. Usually confusion happens because for some people it's the same energy, but for the most people it's a different energy. And it's a conflict between what you desire, right? When you're young, you desire, you do it. You do it, you desire. You desire, you do it. At 33, I desire one thing and I do another thing. So I have a goal, but what I do doesn't match the goal. And first and foremost, my work with people is to diagnose, to see where are you, what you desire and what you're doing about it. Because some people, I desire and I talk about it, and I talk about it in a judgmental way. It's never going to happen. It takes too much time. It's too expensive. I'm not good enough. For that, I have to change something which I'm not willing to change. And you get stuck. And as other people, I want it, I feel it, I say it, I do it. And that is the first formula of harmony. I feel it. God gives me an idea. I
Okay.
feel
Feel
it.
it.
I identify it because I have a brain. I identify it with my neocortex. Then I share with my collaborators what I want to do, or I don't share. I only talk to God, also possible. And then I do it. And when all of it is aligned, you don't have those swing that we normally have. I want to do it, but I can't, but I can't, but I won't. You just connect all those parts and the harmonious energy is there. But then you also have the formula of success. Your success comes from you stepping one step back, looking at that what you want to do, and understanding, is it mine to do or is my neighbor's?
I love
There is
that. Is
no
it mine
mom.
to do? I think I need to post that on my refrigerator. Is it mine to do?
Yeah,
That
it
is, or
saves a
maybe by
lot of
on my door.
energy and time.
I
Yeah,
mean,
is
oh
it
my gosh,
mine to
that's
do and create? Is
you
it
should coin
mine to
that.
cause and create? I actually
Yes.
learned this phrase from an artist, Shaila Sophia. She's an amazing MacLeod. She's an amazing artist. I
Yep.
was her apprentice at some point, and she doesn't teach you how to paint. She teaches you how to think. And
Oh,
this is what the good master does. I don't tell people, I don't read people's energy and tell you you're going to be sick and you're going to be dead and you're going to succeed and this is the money. This is not what I do. What I do is I show the way to potential. We all have potentials. And
yeah.
that's what she was talking about. Before you do anything, look around and decide, is it yours to cause and create? Because we create emotion, right?
That means
That
so
has
much.
nothing to do with us. That's somebody else's stuff. And then we are swimming in the rippling effect of this emotion, which has nothing to do with you. And
Mm.
you didn't cause it, and therefore you don't need to create anything about it.
Well, you sure taught me something.
Wait,
You know,
there's a step forward. There is a step forward. The step forward is
mhm.
you look forward and you look, where can I take that what I've learned, not sorrow that happened to me so terrible, but where can you take what you've learned to make life of other people easier?
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Even if you didn't cause and create something, but you got this experience and now you know something the next person doesn't.
Yeah. That's very nice. It's very in depth if you look at it that way. Where should I take it when I've gotten to this point? Because then the world is your oyster. You know,
Yeah,
you can just
yeah,
about take it anywhere. But like in my case, I was medical intuitive basically my whole life, and I would always see things inside people. My problem is a lot of people didn't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that. So, and that's fine. That's their choice. I get it. But it took me a long time when I started practicing to understand, or accept that some people just don't want to hear it, and that's fine. But the ones that come to me, those are the ones I help. And, you know, it's like anybody out there, they can reach Lana or myself. They can call me or text is best always, 715-892-7500. That's 7500. And again, 715-892-7500. And Lana, you want to tell them how they can get a hold of you?
yeah. Texting is best because we all are busy. 847-414-3730. 847-414-3730. But you can find me on internet. I have YouTube, I have
Oh,
my
yes.
phone book.
She's all
So
over.
Lana Pritzker or Svetlana Pritzker, Pritzker, you will find me. And the truth of the matter is, you know the best. You are the guide you're looking for, but you need to let go of the limitation of what you're knowing. And limitation is the fear. So I want to introduce one of my tools. I have a number of tools, but this is my beloved tool. This is a deck of cards with animals because, like I said, we're
Oh, are those
animals first,
wonderful? Look at
and then
that.
we are human. So I've created with a friend of mine, Alexandra Isayevich, wonderful artist, because my art is 30 by 40 or bigger. She can do smaller art faster. So I asked her to help. This is the skunk being present to what's going on. And the skunk will get you present because it will smell
Nice.
and it will get your limbic
Boy,
system.
you're not kidding. I've got skunk in my yard. Yep,
So
that'll get me
I'm just
present, all
pulling
right.
one card, and it's a fear of boredom. I
Oh,
just took out the card, and this is the yak, and the yak is moving through the vistas of. I went to Mount Everest with my husband, who was climbing Everest, and we saw yaks on the road.
there
They
you
are
go.
pulling huge weights. So we are like these yaks. We take the load on our shoulder, and we are at it. We're going and we're going and we're
Yeah.
going and we're going. But the truth of the matter is, if it's not yours to carry, and you just set it down, somebody will pick it up. Try that
Yeah.
simple, very
You know,
simple action.
it's such an important lesson to learn. Tom said that uh he he needs these lessons. Let me just read it to you. Maybe it'll be easier. I really need your lessons. I'm grateful that you two are there. Thank you very much. I enjoyed listening to both of you. So that was nice of him. But
Thank you.
I would just want to touch base a little bit more about is it mine to do? So I'm taking care of my 90-year-old mother. She can barely walk and, she can't, she's got to be
My
given
mother
her
is
food.
92. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. And so, I remember like, I don't know, several years back, 10, 15 years ago, somebody said something to me once. And I was just so distraught because there was so much that I had to do. And I couldn't even get out to go to the store or something. And it was really interesting. They said, um, it's all in your mind. I'm like, no, that's crazy. I got a lot to do. But and then I realized it took me a while. It's kind of like, hello, you know. But then I finally got it. Then when they were talking, and then the next day I was like, wow. Then bing, there it was. I could go to the store, just setting her up, watching a TV show. After maybe have her use the bathroom, sit her down, put on the show, get everything she needs right there, and just she won't get up. She promised me, and she's pretty good about that. And I ran to the store and came back. And so I found that there were little areas of escape within what I felt was a box like type of thing, and there is no box. It's all just a place in the universe, and we can drift away and drift back, but when people are kind of trapped in some of these things they're doing nowadays, in the chaos and these lies and trapped, it's all like you want to change something, start by changing your mind. Just take a deep breath and walk away and see what happens, or walk away and you'll get this sense of relief that's like, oh my God, I'm so glad. Call a grandma or something like that and go visit them and sit down and talk with them. And, maybe they'll set you straight. Or tell you, that's not true. Maybe we need to hear that. Elderly people are amazing. I so appreciate this time in my life. And I'm like, I know some people are like, you're crazy, but I do because sometimes the caregivers, they don't show up half the time. So I'm sitting there with my mom, making sure her breakfast and her tea and this and that, and she's got everything made and, and I'm losing out on my work time. But at the same time, I'm gaining this experience of just sitting there speaking with her. She's a theological anthropologist, so you can imagine what discussions we've had. If you want to borrow her, let me know, 715-892-7500, because she is phenomenal. She just the wisdom just shines through, and she's not saying she's perfect, and she knows she isn't. She's apologized to me for so many things, 'cause like Lana, I was basically a latchkey kid. My babysitter was the TV set. And if I was hungry, I had to go in the kitchen and maybe open a can of green beans. I mean, it was pretty bad sometimes. But you know what? It is what it is. But I learned how to stand on my own 2 feet, doing that when I was younger. And so out of every circumstance, even for somebody who went through that type of scenario, very lonely probably as a child, but then you learn to be introspective. See, there's a purpose for everything. But in today's world, now, if you're feeling trapped into this scenario, you could just break out of it. You don't think about it. Ask God for the guidance. He'll teach you. All of a sudden, you'll just find yourself walking out of that scenario. And don't look back. It is what it is. Go like this. Okay, I learned what I needed to learn. Next job. Next lesson to learn. But
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
And it's important to just be aware that we simultaneously live in few different realities. And
Mhm.
first and foremost reality is the subjectivity, our subjective understanding ourselves, our environment, and everything else. Everything is just a story. Everything is just a storytelling. Everything is just a picture in our head. None
Yeah.
of it is real because two people seeing the same picture talk differently about what they see. The
Sure.
next reality is objective reality. Objective reality is what you can touch, what you can hear in relationship with other people. They will share
Right.
their subjectivity, but by them sharing, you will notice that this is not necessarily what you were thinking, that your thinking is different. And instead of fighting with them and trying to prove that you're right, which most of my clients do, they fight with each other because they want to prove that they're right. The business owners are fighting with their managers and employees because they think they're right. And all the objective reality is showing that the picture out there does not match yours. So what's right is unknown. Both of
Right.
those are subjective realities colliding with each other. And in
Yes.
objective reality, we can see the result of the collision. And if it doesn't feel right, you're not walking the path. And maybe you don't have a potential or resource to resolve it. And maybe it's not yours to do. And maybe
Right.
you can delegate that thing. So this
Oh,
number one,
delegate. Always love that
objective,
word.
yeah, objective. And then
If I
there
could
is super,
delegate, no.
yeah, there is a super objective reality. And suicide, the science of suicide is teaching about super
Mhm.
objective reality, superseding your objective and subjective. Whatever you want, if the government issues the warrant on you, if you go during the COVID time in the store outside of your house, you cannot do it. Like in China, for example, they would not let people out. The government has power over you, no matter what you think
Right.
subjectively and how you think objectively. And
Mhm.
therefore, the analysis of the situation and the adaptability will always allow you to survive. But if you are stuck in your subjective reality, thinking you're the only caregiver, for example, for your mom, then that's your life. And being with your parents or grandparents or with whoever you want to be is a choice. But when it becomes a necessity, when it becomes a 24-hour, 7 days a week job, this is maybe not your orientation. And not only that, but maybe I'm not talking about you because you actually are a medical intuitive. You're very aware and you can take care of people, but not everybody is you. So sometimes people taking care of others and they're upset, they're angry, they express their feelings, not so positive feelings.
Then
There's
they're
nothing,
done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is nothing positive and negative about the feelings. Feelings are
Right.
feelings. You do need to express them. But after you express the feeling, remember that I sense it, I think about it, the emotion happens, and then I act on it. That action on it sometimes is awkward action because when we are upset, we're acting against the person we are upset about, but we are upset about us not making the choice, right? So
Right.
when you say walk away, I did walk away, unfortunately or fortunately. But I just want to bring a very important subject. We live in the 24th century. In 24th century, people live until 100 years. And maybe back in the day, ancient times, they also live long. But the whole generation before us, by the time you were 60, your parents were dead. Now, thanks God, they're alive. We can partake in their wisdom. But 92 or 98 is not a strong age. And at this point, you do need somebody to take care of you. And at this point, we also have children, and they have children. So
Mhm.
it's you are a person between the generations, and you have people to take care on this side, people to take care on this side. And who's taking care of you?
I'm being smashed.
Between all the generational
Right, right.
obligations. And
No,
so what I've
that's a
done,
wonderful
I
thought too.
hired people to take care of them, of my parents, because they
Hmm.
cannot be on their own anymore, and they don't want to be in any institution. So it's happening here. I hired a babysitter for my daughter, which she was not very happy about. She said the grandma should babysit, and I'm like, I'm a grandma 2 hours a day. The rest of the time, I am a person with interest, with work, with clients, with studies.
Right. You have your journey as well.
Yeah. And I truly believe that everybody should live their own life. 92-year-old is different from 60-year-old, from 40-year-old, for 7-year-old.
Hmm.
And when everybody lives their life, that is the purpose. The purpose is to live the moment that is appropriate for you to live. And the rest of it you visit. Couple hours here, couple days here, you visit. And when you visit,
Right.
you come with love. You don't come with obligation. And love
Yeah.
is a very high vibration.
So I came from a place where I took care of everybody,
Yes,
always. And
I know you.
I do feel though that I've scraped and clawed and did everything I need to get to where I am today. But I do think I need to start asking myself, is it mine to do? So that's what I'm going to start doing actually, because I am seeing now as I'm getting older that God has a different plan for me. You know, it's called self-sustainability.
For sure.
Yeah. So I have my company at Sustainability Management Institute, and it's sustainability management. Hello, you know. So self-sustainability is where I need to, cross that map and become more self-sustainable as far as my health, my well-being, my mental state. And I have been noticing, like you said, you have to take your moments and find your moments of joy. I have found so many in this process, I have realized that there's moments of joy in everything you do. No matter how gloomy it may seem, there's moments of joy. And learning, like me, I have learned more patience now than I've ever had. And I still feel I don't know enough with patience. I have caregivers that I listen to them sometimes. How are they handling that? Like when she gets angry or something, I just walk out because I can't do it because I'm too close. And then at least that's my excuse right now. But then I hear what they say and I was like, oh my gosh, it was that easy for them. And they turned the whole thing right around and she's happy as a lark again. And it's like, wow, I'm still learning. All of life is a learning experience. So the message I would have to say to everybody is chaos versus purpose. You can change your mind and just change yourself. All life has a purpose, and you have to follow your own journey. And if you need to see either one of us, you can text me 715-892-7500. And Svetlana, how would they get a hold of you?
847-414-3730, 847-414-3730. But also you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, Amazon. And I want to add to this message that if you are highly intelligent person who is giving service to the world, who has an energy and intelligence to work with many people, you cannot, it's not God's wish for you to sit in one home taking care of one person. That person needs you and wants you, and that's wonderful, and you have time for it. But if you do all your time this, first of all, you're taking the job from the caregivers who do not have other job and other talent. This is what they do for living.
I
You're
hear you
taking
loud
their
and clear.
job. You're taking the job out of their hands and their children go
Yeah.
hungry. Secondly, and that's the most important key for
Yeah.
you and for everybody else, you know that, but from the
Yes.
distance, I want to remind you
Hmm.
that your vibrational quality is love and understanding. Mhm.
Hmm.
People who are older or sick have lesser energy. The reason people get sick, sustainability point, is the energy drops. So you're taking care of yourself by doing things for the world, by learning, by writing books. Your brain starts working, your
Right.
brain
Right.
sends
I
the
haven't
signals.
stopped, just letting everyone out there.
I
I have
know.
8 books coming out this summer, and I published one last week. There will be another one this week, another one the following. And every week there's going to be a book. And then I have another series I started, which is almost finished. So that's another 8 books. So yeah, no, I'm not letting it. I am fortunate enough though to have a mother who says, I want you to do what you need to do in your life. And she tries to not be a burden,
Yeah,
at
and
all.
she's not, because she grew a child like that. But people who are watching us, some of them are the
Yes, yes.
caregivers,
Oh, I had
which
one
are
in bed
out
for
of
6 months. Yeah,
character for them, right? So
right.
if it's in character, if it's your institute, if it's inside you, and that's what you do for a living, that's great. But as you said, when you're very close and you're taking care of somebody you love, your energy drops with them. That's what I
Yes.
wanted to mention. That when
Hmm.
your energy drops, you are no longer sustainable for your organs. Your electricity is not
Yeah,
working properly. And you are not a support, because they plug into you. And when you're not optimal in your energy, both of you lose. And therefore, people get angry, because anger is much
hmm,
higher than depression. Anger is the power in relationship to depression, because sick people get sad. So
yeah,
my message to you and advice: do what you're born to do. If you don't know what it is, I'll let you know. Or you already know. If you think about back when you were 7, 8, 9 year old, you already knew what you want to be, but you never did it because it was too easy, right? So you can go back and start being who you want to be and doing what you want to be doing. And when you feel joy and happiness right this moment, because you do not go out and do things for others, you do things for your family, that's also
right.
great. Why not? But emotional quality matters. That's what we're doing. We work, we get money, we buy tickets, we go on vacation, we sip some drink, we sit down under the sun. Now we're happy. You can start with I'm happy, and then you can go on vacation if you want to. But if
Right.
you're not happy, that's not yours to do or create. Get somebody who gets happy about doing it. And proper orientation is important. It could be
Yeah.
calculated. You could go to the right university, not spend
Maybe I
$100,000
need to start
for
dancing.
nothing. Yeah, and you can start dancing. I dance all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's been such a joy to see you again, Lana. I really appreciate you being here with me and everybody else out there. Thank you, Jim, Alicia, Monica, Christine. We didn't get to you, Tom, this time, but we'll get to you next time. Please remember, you can always send me a text, 715-892-7500, and I can get back with you. And if anyone needs contact information, you can text me as well, and I will give you Svetlana's information and anyone else who's been on the show. Thank you so much.
You're
And
very
there
welcome.
for the
Thank
grace of
you.
God go I and
Thank
Lana.
you.
And
Thank you.
God bless everyone. Have a good day. You've been watching Medical Intuitive Insights, and you can catch our reruns on Facebook, on YouTube, and many other channels. So God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Have a wonderful day.